Sudhakar Padmanabhan, accidents bring the best. Accidents bring the best, Sudhakar Padmanabhan. Have you ever been told by your parents that you came to the existence of this world by accident? Can I see the rise of hands? I see few hands rising, which means I'm not alone. When I heard this from my mother, I felt motivated because I believed that accidents bring the best. Contest chair, panel of judges, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very warm good evening. Moving back from a past forward to the fast forward, I was in my chemistry lab, mixed two chemicals, ran to get the third one, came back to see the beaker was empty. When I checked with my colleagues, no one had any clue, but they said they heard the sound. I don't have anybody to complain. So I started complaining to God, oh God, what happened to my reaction? And there was no reaction from him. But in that process, I saw a black patch on the roof of our lab. It was nothing but the reaction mixture, what I have done. While I was enjoying the texture and shape of that black moss, I got a bang from my back. It was my professor, and he exclaimed, "Yet another accident?" But I don't want to accept it as an accident. While I was enjoying the texture and shape of it, I noticed a white string coming all the way down from that black moss. So I asked my professor, "Professor, can you see a white string coming all the way down? Can you please explain what that white string about?" And this time, there was no reaction from my professor. But he was very intelligent enough to say that, "Sudhakar, that's an exercise for you for the next week. Find out and report to me." White string? I have to do a research on this. So I tried to pull that white string. With lot of difficulty, it came down. And I couldn't pull out the entire moss. And I left it. It went back and hit the roof with a lot more power. Elastic material? I was so moved. I went back and washed the beaker and came back to do the reaction again. This time I was so curious, so I started mixing the chemicals and trying to see what the reaction happens while I was mixing the chemicals. Boom! That accident happened and the black moss flew and hit my face. With the black moss all around, I started running every corner of the lab, shouting, "Eureka! Eureka! Eureka!" Of course, I was well dressed. From that accident, we could find out an elastic material which led to a patent as well as several research publications in our laboratory. Fellow Toastmasters, accidents does happen in our life. It's up to us to know the reason behind the accidents and convert that into achievements. On the other day, in my chemistry lab, when I was doing an experiment with sodium as a metal, an attendant came running to me and shouting, "Use the sodium metal very carefully." I asked him why we have to use it very carefully. The attendant had no clue and he said, "I have been telling this for last 20 years and don't ask me why, and that's how you are supposed to use it." Without wasting any time, I cut a piece of sodium and dropped it into the sink and opened the water. Sodium in contact with water, boom, that fire happened. The attendant was so happy to see the fire and know the reason why sodium has to be handled carefully. But the burning sodium did its job. It went inside the sinkhole and burnt the entire drainage line of that building. While the attendant was happy about knowing what sodium can do, it was my poor father who had to pay the maximum amount of lab fee in the history of our college. But yet, I was pretty much happy. Why? Because I could teach a person who's 20 years experience in the chemistry lab, but yet he do not know what he has been telling to the people. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, accidents does happen in our life in different stages. I learned the art of cycling by yet another accident. In the result, I gave a CC2 with that. I learned the art of swimming from yet another accident. And the result, I could give a CC4 with that. I learned the art of speaking by yet another accident. The result, I'm standing in front of you. Needless to say, I have given 40 and odd speeches, and how many accidents I would have met in my life. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, we do see accidents in our life on a daily basis. It's up to us to convert that accidents and see the rationale behind it and convert that into achievements. When you know the reasons behind that accidents, it's not only a lesson for you, it's a lesson for the entire world that what can happen or what can go wrong with that particular accident. Learning from the accidents is an important part, but yet sharing that experience with others has become a vital role, because when you share that experience, it becomes a lesson not only just for you, but for everyone in the world. So they come to know what can go wrong with that particular accident and what can come as a benefit from that particular accident. And they can take the best out from that accident, leaving behind the worst part of it. You all know and agree that accidents is part and parcel of our life. But yet we need to think deep and bring the best out of that accidents and give it to the society so that everybody can benefit from the accidents, because accidents bring the best. Contest chair.